there, I'm the 996, and thank you for being here today. This is going to be about a book I read recently called 100 Days of Sunlight by Abbie Emmons. It's a book about a teenage girl, and what happens is this girl is in a car accident with her grandmother and she goes blind. But thankfully, the blindness isn't something that's permanent. The doctors suspect, however, it will last for quite some time 12 to 14 weeks, or around 100 days. She's very angry at the world and she's feeling sorry for herself. And her grandparents decide to hire a typist for her to try to help her with her poetry blog. However, she feels embarrassed that someone has to help her and she doesn't want to try and find any type of way to try to accommodate her new circumstances, and they retract the ad. However, the son of the person who owns a newspaper, when he hears that she's going to be blind, he thinks that she needs some help. He's 16 years old also. His name is Weston, and he goes to find her. And he decides to tell the grandparents that he'll be the typist for her if they make sure they don't mention to her that he is paraplegic and he basically lost his legs. Tessa is the girl who's gone blind. First, she's very angry. She doesn't want any help, and she's very rude to Weston. But he continues to come back, realizing that her anger isn't directed so much at him as it is her circumstances. The two eventually fall in love, but he doesn't want her to know about him having paraplegic because he worries what she'll think of him when he regains her sight. He helps her by showing her all types of things, by bringing her flowers every day. By the way, this is the spoiler part. So if you don't want to spoil the book, please stop right here and listen to the rest of it after you've read the book. It says he brings her flowers at a certain point, and he's helping her realize sins that she has. She doesn't like getting out of the house, especially since her car accident. So he takes her to different places that are close by and tries to get her to realize what senses that she does have, and he gets to know her through her poetry as well. And he gets to be interested in her by reading the poems that she had before the accident, seeing how there was more of a brighter tone to her poetry. Another thing that's good about the story is Weston. He's very optimistic. When he was 13, he got an infection and lost his leg, and you see how he really strived through to make sure that he could still do different things. He still wanted to participate in gym class. He wanted to go back to his school that he was attending originally, not going to any type of school that would have special accommodations. Weston, they have flashbacks of Weston when he was in middle school, and basically you see how he's become a very strong individual who's willing to persevere through anything. And it's really inspiring. And I like the fact that it's not simply about her, it's about not Tessa, the girl who's blind, but also it's about Weston just as much as it is about Tessa. And what happens is after Weston and Tessa share a kiss, he says he's sorry and he pretty much tries to ghost her. And he realized that he almost wishes that she didn't get her sight back, but he still, even though he does want her to get her sight back, he sort of wishes that maybe she wouldn't get her sight back so he wouldn't have to deal with worrying how she's going to feel about him. He, knowing that he is paraplegic, he loves the fact that she treats him like everyone else, that he doesn't pity him, as so many people do. That's one of the reasons that makes him want to continue to come back and continue working with her, even though he's being paid. The money isn't really a main factor in the reason that he's there. So what happens is she finally starts getting her sight back. They get in contact with each other, and she threatens that she'll come to his house if he doesn't talk to her. And then when they meet in a park that they'd gone to beforehand. He had taken pictures of her when she was blind, and she saw some of the pictures they'd taken. They were pictures that didn't show his legs. She's so surprised when she sees him, she drops her phone. And he wonders if she's going to think that they shouldn't be together, but of course, they still do decide to be together. This is really a story about people who can get through all kinds of things and to accept people for who they are and not limitations that other people try to put on them. And it was just a unique way that she got to know him, and a unique way that she got to know him by him helping her. She fell in love with him because of the way he was able to help her. And he would watch the Sound of Music and describe what was going on, like all the different scenes in the story that she couldn't see. And he would spend time helping her, type up her poetry, even though he's getting paid. She fell in love with getting to know him past his disability because she didn't see his disability literally. And he fell in love with her through her personality, but also because she didn't treat him differently, didn't pity him. So it was a unique circumstance in the way that they got to really know each other before they both could really be around each other in the situation that would be what would be normal for both of them. The story is excellent, and I would give this review 4 stars. There were a few things, minor things, I wondered about. One, I would have liked to see a little more of the grandparents and a little more about Tessa's mother. The mother was what she called a wild child and had her out of wedlock and apparently didn't really involve that much in her life. I'm not calling anybody any type of names for having any children out of wedlock. I'm just describing the way that she describes her mother. That's all I'm saying. Also, we know that Tessa's grandparents are people who raised her. The father's a preacher, and Tessa's homeschooled. I thought it was a little weird when Weston looks up Tessa and he can't find her information regarding. He automatically assumes that she's homeschooled, and that happens to be true. I think that's just kind of a big jump of logic for someone to automatically think, oh, well, this person should be homeschooled because I can't find them when I look them up. Also, there's a part where Weston takes Tessa out, and when he goes to the bathroom, there's a guy who's hitting on her, who's being creepy and touchy, and then because of that encounter, she doesn't want to go back out again. She very quickly gets over it and goes back out Weston again. I think if they had made it be a little longer before she wanted to go back out, that would have been an interesting way to go about the story. So please get this book. It is an indie book. This indie book is on Amazon, and I really would say if you want to, even though this is a spoiler-filled review, giving you an overview about what happens in the story, seeing how all this plays out is very good, and hopefully you stopped at the part where I told you there would be the spoilers. So please read this book and give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Have a great day.